Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here.
And I'm Abe. I'm Shay.
And Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing... What the fuck was that? Anyway, I'm going to be reviewing... Okay, I know where this is going to go. I'm going to keep on doing my little thing, and then that sound effect will pop up. Shit, I'm doing the new Mortal Kombat movie, okay?
Listen carefully. Watch. Learn. Mortal Kombat has begun.
There's a war coming.
We need to fight before it's too late.
Get over here!
Mortal Kombat in theaters and on HBO Max April 16. Rated R.
Mortal Kombat stars Louis Tang, Jessica McNane, Josh Lawson, and is directed by Simon McQuaid. The plot of Mortal Kombat is that the film pits Earth's greatest champions against enemies from Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. Now, before I get on with the rest of my review, I would like to say I'm not a typical Mortal Kombat fan or anything like that. You know, I haven't played any of the games really. The only one I played was Mortal Kombat 9, and even then it was just for the two-player versus mode to where I could kick the shit out of my friends and my family. And that's really all I really knew about Mortal Kombat, was just from that. I haven't seen the original movie from 1995. 1995. I haven't seen the sequel, which I heard is so terribly awful. But I was, for some reason, wanting to watch this movie, more so because I thought it'd be a good one to watch with my younger brother, who loves video games. He's definitely played the Mortal Kombat movie, so I thought this would be a good one for me and him to watch to kind of have some brotherly bonding time. I do have some thoughts on this one, so let's get right into them.
Get over here!
One of the positives I definitely have is now I do like the setup of the story. I definitely do. Like, you know, like in fact, honestly, it had a pretty good, you know, opening scene. I was kind of thrown off a bit because I was like, nobody told me that this was going to have subtitles in it. So, because it starts off with subtitles in that, and it starts off in like Japan or wherever, I don't know, because the film doesn't explain where it is. You know, it kind of starts to show the origins of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which honestly I thought those two were pretty good. I especially liked the actor who played Scorpion more so. In fact, I think the first, let's say, 7 or so minutes of the film really does a good job at building his backstory and everything. Also Sub-Zero's backstory. And then you get into the whole present day stuff, so it takes place in present day afterwards, and it's fine, it's serviceable. Although I feel like nothing could probably have topped that first couple 7 minutes of this movie, so because that was really good, actually. Another positive I have is from the looks of it, and from what my brother told me, who has played a lot more of the Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that, knows more about that stuff than I do. It seemed like the casting and the characters were pretty faithful to games for the most part. And I mean, everyone does a good job for the most part, except for one, which I'll get to, my negatives. But everyone does a good job for the most part, especially the legacy Mortal Kombat characters, and they do a pretty good job in terms of acting wise. Also, another positive I have is the visuals, like for the most part. Like mostly with the cinematography, it looks really great. Again, especially in that first 7 minutes, it looked pretty good. The rest of the film, again, some of this I might talk about my mixed thoughts aspect, because I do have some things I'm mixed on and some things I have negatives on. Because I had a day to process this movie, because I watched it last night with my younger brother, so. In terms of like the characters too, there was one character and one actor that I think basically stole the show from all the other cast, which you could look at that as a positive or you could look at that as a negative. I look at it as a positive because this character and actor made the film that much more fun, and that is Josh Lawson as Kano. Me and my brother were like, man, we both love this asshole. Because he is super funny in this movie, actually. And from what I've seen in the games so far with this character. Josh Lawson actually portrays the character really well, actually. In fact, to be honest, I actually, from what my brother told me about with his character in the games, I do hope, because it seems like, without getting to too much spoiler, because this is going to be a spoiler-free review, and then me and Josh are going to do spoiler-filled reviews. We would just have to rewatch the film again. What they do near the end of the film kind of suggests there's going to be a sequel to this movie. No surprise there, because Hollywood is mostly based on sequels. From what my brother told me, it seems like Kano will be back in the sequel. Man, I hope so, because again, I just love that character. Even though he was an asshole, he was like a funny asshole. Because for me, if you're going to be an asshole, at least have some charm and at least have like some, you know, humor to you being a complete and total jackass. And another positive I have, and this will be the final positive, is that I think the music is pretty good for the most part. And honestly, for me, that's it with my positives, so let's move on to things I'm mixed on. Because after processing this film for a day, there are some things I'm rather split on. So let's get right into that.
Get over here!
One of the things I'm honestly mixed on is most of the characters. Now, while I think the actors do a pretty good job in their roles, I don't remember a single thing about these characters at all. The most I remember is, outside of Josh Lawson as Kano, is I forgot who the character's name is, but he's the one with the robotic, who would eventually get the robotic hands and stuff like that. That's in the games and that. And that was the most I remember, because the actor was pretty good, and plus he had a, you know, pretty cool fight scene with Sub-Zero and that, so. And that's about it. That is literally about it. And I think a problem with that is you have one character with Kano stealing the entire show, which again, you could look at as a positive or, you know, negative. I somewhat think it's both within my mixed aspects and my positives, because on the one hand, Kano is really fucking funny, and he actually actually makes this film really enjoyable to watch. But on the other hand, I think he does kind of steal the show too much away from the other characters and that, so to the point where I don't even remember most of the characters actually, or their names, or anything like that. That's pretty bad. Another thing I'm mixed on is the music. While the music is competently written and stuff like that, I just think it's not very memorable. You know what I think would honestly make it memorable? Even though I haven't watched the original 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, I will say the one thing I definitely know from that film, and I've listened to before, is the original theme from that film, where it's like, Mortal Kombat! And there's some points where it seems like they're doing that bit of music, and then they never go all the way with it. And there are some points where it seems like they're going to go all the way with it, but no, they just kind of have like little speckles of the original Mortal Kombat theme. And it just kind of makes it feel like a more generic version of the original Mortal Kombat theme. If they had just utilized the original Mortal Kombat theme, at least in one or two places, I could at least say the music, while forgettable at times, it's like at least I got the original Mortal Kombat theme. But in the final film, not really, no. Also, in terms of mixed things too, is in regards to the characters, I thought the main character that you're supposed to root for, portrayed by Louis Tang, Cole Young, was not a very interesting character, really. I mean, Louis Tang portrays the character pretty well. Like, seems like a decent actor, which is why I'm putting this in my mixed thoughts. But his character's not very interesting at all. In fact, I thought the other characters were way more interesting than him. In fact, honestly, again, I thought Kano was a much more interesting character. And from what I understand, Cole Young is a character that is not part of the Mortal Kombat lore. You have a whole roster of already established Mortal Kombat characters that you could have picked from that could have been more interesting than this guy to be as your main character. They didn't do with that. And here's the thing, I don't mind having a new character in an already established property for like a film adaptation or something like that, as long as you make the character interesting, you know, and it fits within the world pretty well, to the point where it's like, okay, so if they make another Mortal Kombat game, you know, it'd be cool to see Cole Young in a video game, like let's say Mortal Kombat 12. And there's nothing they really do here that makes me go like, I don't really care to see Cole Young in Mortal Kombat 12. But outside of that, that's it with my mixed thoughts, and let's get on to my negatives. I feel like there's times where the film kind of drags in terms of pacing. Like the film could have been shortened a bit in that, and it would have been just as fine, if not better. Also, to go along with that in terms of like cinematography and stuff like that, I will say, while the fight scenes are intense, I do not like how they shot the fight scenes. There's a lot of times where you don't really get to see much and stuff like that. It's kind of like quick cuts, quick edits, and I think there could have been a better way to do that. I mean, look at films that have action scenes like the John Wick movies. Those have amazing action sequences, and we don't get anything like that here. Now, I'm not sure if they're trying to emulate martial arts movies, because I personally have never seen any martial arts movies or anything like that, so it's just a genre that I haven't really gave much thought into. So I don't really know with that, but I think the action could have been a lot better. But honestly, for me, that's it in terms of things I'm mixed on, so let's move on to my negatives.
Get over here!
And what, I don't think I have any real negatives, like nothing that I'm like, oh, I fucking hate this, or anything like that, or this character fucking annoyed me, or, you know, this scene fucking annoyed me, you know. I don't have anything like that with this movie. So I guess we'll go on to my rating. So with that said, I'm going to give Mortal Kombat 2021 a 4 out of 5 stars. Originally, when I first watched this film, I was planning on giving this a 5 out of 5 because I enjoyed it quite a bit after I got done watching it. But giving some time to process the film and everything, there are some problems that I think, you know, if fixed, it could have moved up to a 5 out of 5 star movie, but it is still an enjoyable movie. You know, I just think some of those issues kind of water it down a bit. I mean, it is close to being so far my favorite film I've seen of 2021 so far. My favorite so far I'll get into in a later review with me and Josh. But if the film did not have any of these issues, then yes, it would be a 5 out of 5 star for me. But because it has those issues I mentioned, it's sitting comfortably at the 4 out of 5 star spot, which is not a bad rating. It still I still think it's a good movie. Because I heard for some people, if you're not a Mortal Kombat fan, this may not be for you or whatever. But I'm not a Mortal Kombat fan. I only played one of the games. I don't know much of like these characters' backstories and stuff like that, or all that different stuff, because I only played the Versus mode on Mortal Kombat 9. But yeah, it was an enjoyable experience actually. So that's it for my review. Thank you guys for watching, and tune in to mine and Josh's spoiler-filled review of Mortal Kombat. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.